so sorry. It's 8:04, and I'm I'm in there in the bathroom putting on the rest of my face, uh, talking to my homegirl Lynette. I just knew I had like 10 more minutes. I was trying to set up dinner plans for where we was going to eat. I looked down at my thing. It said 8:02. Then I had Michelle Jerrington, fuck you, girl, talking about I'm somewhere hungover. Girl, yo mammy. Um, and then, mind you, after I realized I was late, they got the nerve to go to the refrigerator and fill this big ass cup up with ice. And you know your refrigerator goes slow. So I'm like, refrigerator, come on. Finally, I just ran and put some damn faucet water in here. So if I die of lead and chlorine poisoning from this water, it's because I was trying to get the work for y'all. This reminds me of when I used to work in corporate America, y'all. When I used to work in corporate, if I was late, I would just go ahead and go to Burger King, bitch. If I was 10 minutes late, I just used to go ahead and be 25. And then I had big nerve. I'd be walking in with my McDonald's bag talking about, good morning. Good morning. Listen, if you 15 minutes late and if you 30 minutes late at work, it really don't matter because to your boss and to your supervisors, you already late. So you might as well get done what you need to get done. Don't make no sense in you being late and hungry and gotta wait till your lunch break. And then make no sense in me being late and thirsty or getting up in the middle of the doggone show. I used to walk in, I was like, good morning. Ain't no need in trying to run to your cubicle because they already know you. Like, good morning. I have my briefcase. I have my Burger King tucked up under like this with my badge. Good morning. Good morning. And I used to always say it deep. Good morning. You can't, when you late at work, you can't act shamed. You got to have audacity. You got to have audacity. Like it ain't no big deal. Good morning. Good morning. How was your weekend? Good morning. That's how I used to walk in. Fuck them people at them jobs. Okay? Because they ain't going to give a damn when your bill's late when they lay you off and they fire you. I'm going to tell y'all one good thing. Somebody said you look extra good with your eyebrows. I got so sick and tired of y'all telling me that I didn't have eyebrows. Mac has a pencil called Spiked. My friend B Rich Beauty, you can follow him on YouTube. He's a beauty influencer and he's a corporate trainer at Mac. He told me to get Spiked. And that's what I have on my eyebrows. Now I never arched them. I don't know how to do none of that. I just color them in. But listen, y'all, I'm excited about the show that we doing tonight. So first and foremost, how y'all liking this time change? Don't get me wrong. I love the summertime change when it gets dark and it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I love it. I hate it for those of y'all who have to get up early in the morning who are losing an hour of sleep. But I definitely love having longer days. The only thing about it is it's throwing me off because last night I started calling my friends at like 8 o'clock trying to meet up in an hour to go eat. And everybody was like, Q, we ate already. We ate. And I was like, damn, it felt so much earlier when it was late. Y'all are already in the comments saying congratulations to Armon. That was one of the first things that I wanted to talk about this morning. Congratulations to Armon Wiggins. He has been selected as the third co-host to replace the seat that I filled. I think Armon is a great fit. I think the two greatest fits would have been T.S. Madison or Armon. Let the record reflect the job was offered to T.S. Madison. She had other obligations that just would not allow her to be able to commit to the job. Outside of that, I think Armon would be the best fit. unless they were going to reconfigure the show and make it a completely other show. Granted, you can never replace Claudia Jordan. You can never replace Al Reynolds. You can never replace Funky Dineva. However, that seat required somebody of high energy that was ballsy, who was not afraid to challenge the status quo. And I think Armon definitely fits the bill. A lot of people like Dustin Ross. Dustin Ross is my homeboy, and I love Dustin too. If they were looking to replace Al's seat, then Dustin would have fit that energy. A lot of y'all keep saying Dustin, Dustin, Dustin. Had you put Dustin in that seat, the show would have been dragging. It would have been too monotone. It would have been Al on one side, Claudia, and then Dustin on the other side. It would have been two sides of the same energy. Again, if they were replacing the Al Reynolds seat and everything that came along with that seat, then Dustin Ross would have been the perfect fit for that seat. Dustin Ross, hands down, is a perfect fit for the show. I love Dustin. That's been my brother for a long time in social media. We're friends. We know each other. Phone number in my phone. Very smart brother. Looks good. He has all the things. Dustin has all the things. He just, it just wasn't the right seat for Justin's energy. That is all. Before we get started, I did a post yesterday that ruffled some feathers on social media that read, if you are a school teacher, social worker, or a CPS worker in 2024, you a goddamn fool. And then in the caption, I went on to write, with the cost of living, the state of the world, and what those jobs pay, coupled with going to college for 4 years, you are signing up for a life of destitution and stress. Get somebody else to do it. And if I had nieces, nephews, or any young person around me, I would strongly persuade them to do other things. And a lot of people got offended. And it's never my intention to offend anybody. And I put that in the caption. Let me clarify. Maybe I should have put, if you're looking to go into the field of social work, child protective service worker, or social worker in 2024, you're a damn fool. There are a lot of people who are currently school teachers, social workers, so on and so forth, that got offended. I'm not talking to you if you are already in for 14 years. Your life been fucked up for the last 14 years. You might as well stay. No. But, and of course, a lot of y'all got in talking about, I'm an LCSW and I manage social workers and I make six figures. Sis, I'm not talking about you. And y'all purposely being obtuse, because everybody who gets into the field is not going to be at the top making six figures. What inspired that post is I was watching something on Instagram where this CPS worker had to come to this lady's house in the freezing cold, and this lady was just giving her the business. As the lady, she wouldn't let the lady in. The lady was standing in the cold. And I'm thinking to myself, this is just not worth it for $40,000. Now, I'm going to double down on what I said. All right. I 100% double down on what I said. And here is why. If you are sending your child to college right now to be a school teacher, a everyday run-of-the-mill social worker, or a CPS worker, you are sending your child to college to obtain 4 years of education and 4 years of debt to come out and be broke and be stressed. All right? There are exceptions to the rule. Yes, there are some school systems that pay more. Yes, as a social worker, if you go on and get your master's and get your license and this, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about fish that sit at the front desk, okay, and got a caseload of 900 damn cases. That's no way to live. Get somebody else to do it. Okay. And a lot of y'all in the comments saying, well, if everybody in the world thought like Funky, where would we be? We'd probably be in the shithole where we are right now. And here's the thing, even in me saying don't do it, there's always going to be people to do it. So we're never going to have an absence of people being teachers, social workers, and CPS workers. But Bevy Smith says it gets greater later. I'm 40 years old right now, and life is good. All right. And I look around at a lot of my friends that work in these fields, and it's a lot of stress. And the cost of living that we have right now, they're not doing well. And so for me, I just don't think it's smart for anyone to go to college to land a job that pays $40,000 a year. Bite me, call me elitist, tell me I can't read the room, call me a bad person. I'll be all of those things, but what I'm not is a damn fool, and I'm living good, okay? I understand the children are our future, and I understand somebody has to do it, but get somebody else to do it, okay? It's two people down there. And y'all know I'm telling the damn truth. Get out your damn feelings. Get out your feelings. $40,000, $50,000 is no money in America right now. And if you're going to be making $40,000 and $50,000, at least let it be at a stress-free job that did not require you to go get 4 years of education. If you're going to go get 4 years in education, come out with a job making 6 figures. Come out with a job making $80,000 a year. $40,000 a year, bitch. You can be an assistant manager at McDonald's. You can literally be an assistant manager training program at the Gap and come out making more than that. You can work your way up from cashier at Walmart and make 6 figures working at Walmart. Why would you send your child to college to get a 4-year degree to make $40,000 a year? Okay. Now, the only caveat to that is if you are female and you marry well, then that works. And money ain't everything, but bitch, it's a lot. Okay. And they say advocate on your platform. Don't shame or blame. I'm not shaming anyone, and I'm not blaming anyone. And stop taking it that way. If it's your passion, go do it. All right. I'm just trying to get you to understand what you're signing up for. And yes, the government should pay teachers more. Yes, America should put priority on social services, but they have not. So seeing as though they have not, if you go into this career right now and sign up for it, you don't get to come back on the back end and complain to us because you already know what it is going into it. Sorry. No, I'm really not. All right, moving right along because the host is mad first thing in the morning. If you mad, log out. Let me see you make a student. Let me see you make an $80,000 student loan payment off of $40,000 a year. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at your guidance counselor. Speaking of people doing bad, y'all, the CEO of Kellog cereal said in response to rising cost of living and people not doing well, this bitch had the nerve to cock his head to the side and say, let people eat cereal for dinner. Now, y'all want to call me insensitive and tone deaf. At least I'm trying to make sure your ass can afford to buy a box of damn cereal, considering the fact that cereal has gone up 28% in the last 4 years. Girl, they say in some places cereal is $15 a box for a family-sized box of cereal. And if you a CPS worker, a school teacher, a social worker at a regular status, Girl, you can't even afford to buy a box of cereal and a $4 half a gallon of milk, but want to sit up and be mad with me because I'm trying to help y'all hoes have a better life. He said, let the girls eat cereal. Well, sir, Mr. Kellogg, sir, quiet as it's kept, you ain't telling us nothing we ain't already know, because when the girls ain't had no money, that's what the fuck we was doing. We was eating cereal to get by. But I just find it super insensitive considering the fact that this man makes a $1 million base salary and an additional $4 million in incentives for a total compensation package of $5 million, but got the nerve to tell working class families, basically, if you doing bad, go eat cereal for dinner. And the sad part about it is, at your income level, sir, and here's the thing that kills me about these CEOs of companies. These CEOs of companies don't even use the products that they sell and that they companies that they manage. I can assure you the CEO of Kellogg is not eating Frosted Flakes in the morning. And I damn sure can assure you in the evening time before he lays his head to his pillow, he is not eating damn Frosted Flakes. Okay? I can assure you he is not eating damn Frosted Flakes. He's eating filet mignon, rack of lamb, double stuffed pork chop with apples on the top, crab legs, because all that. But then want to tell us eat cereal. And I tell your mammy to eat cereal at night, bitch. Okay? And quiet as it's kept, trying to add to your bottom line, you need to lower the price of that sugary shit, because all it's doing is giving poor communities diabetical issues. Okay, the people got diabetes from feeding their kids Ajax and Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes. It's bad enough we eat the shit in the morning and then we eat the shit after school for a snack and we eat it on the weekends. Now you want to tell people to eat that shit at nighttime for dinner? No, God. No, God. We not eating cereal. We not eating cereal. Tell your mammy to eat some damn cereal for dinner, bitch. Okay? And speaking of kids and cereal, I want to know what y'all think about this. A Missouri teen can potentially be tried as an adult for beating up this white girl at school. She beat her head into the ground, and Whitefish started having seizures down there to the ground while the kids were still recording for World Star Hip Hop. And she's in a hospital right now, critical condition. Now, I don't know if these details matter to y'all or if they do not. The teen that's potentially facing the charges is Black. The girl who got injured is white. I watched the video. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't feel that this is a race issue. And let me just set up what happened. Two kids in school, they both wanted to fight. The white girl wasn't scared to fight. The Black girl wasn't scared to fight. Unfortunately, the Black girl got the best of the white girl, okay? Once she got the white girl down on the ground, she took her head and she started banging it into the concrete. All right. The white girl then began seizing. The white girlfriends, who happened to be Black, jumped in on the Black girl. The Black girlfriends jumped in to fight them, and it became a brawl. Here is where I'm at with it. I want to start with this. Excuse me. Kids fight. In high school, kids fight. That's what we did. Everybody ran after school to watch. I am of the belief that there is a such thing as going too far. That, there's one thing to be in a fight and to be punching and kicking and scratching and biting. And it's another thing to be trying to kill somebody. I don't know the circumstances surrounding why the fight started, but I can say that the Black girl, from the looks of things, she was not in fear of her life. She wasn't in fear of her life. It wasn't one of those things where she was about to die. She was the one winning. Um, what I do have an issue with is the charging her as an adult. All right. I have an issue with that. I have an issue with that. I do. There's an argument to be made that at that age, children's brains aren't fully developed. The simple fact that they was outside to the parking lot fighting shows that they are immature and don't have the common sense that God gave a billy goat. The streets would say that there are no rules in fighting, but just the human decency part of me says that you do not take someone's skull and bam it into the concrete as hard as she bammed that girl's head into the concrete. And God forbid this girl loses her life. It's a wrap. So with that being said, I don't want the young lady charged as an adult. I want us to explore why our children are so violent these days. I have watched many a fight growing up in inner city Miami, and I have never seen somebody take somebody's head and bam it into the concrete the way that girl. I mean, she bammed that girl head into the concrete, y'all. She did. She banged that bitch head into the concrete bad. And that's why y'all got to talk to y'all children, because y'all assume that people gonna fight fair. You don't know what people backgrounds are. You don't know where people coming from. You don't know what mental and anger issues people have. And whatever it is that they could have possibly been fighting about in high school, it damn sure is not worth her life. It damn sure is not worth her being in the hospital right now. And it damn sure is not worth any future medical health or brain injuries that she is going to have as a result of whatever that just went on. It's not worth it. Speaking of something else that's an atrocity. What y'all think about Drea getting pregnant by that damn 22-year-old boy with her ass being 39 years old? I'm gonna go ahead and call the hell for 40. I think it's nasty. I think it's downright disgusting. I think Drea is a predator. Drea is a predator. Drea is a predator. Fuck all y'all liberated women. Fuck all y'all feminists that talk about, oh, but it ain't a big deal when men do it. Men do it all the time. Here is the difference. And here is why it's socially acceptable when a man does it. Because typically when a man does it, the female, the younger female, is on the winning end. She is the beneficiary of the lifestyle of the coins. She is the recipient of the check. That is why we're all like, you go, girl. That's right, girl. You better get it. It's a fair exchange. The man took her youth and her beauty in exchange for money. All right. This is not a fair exchange. This is robbery. This is predatory. I don't give a good goddamn what nobody say. Drea took advantage of that boy's naivete and somebody who was young and enamored with her. That boy probably grew up, him and his mama, watching Basketball Wives, jacking his dick off in his room in middle school to posters of Drea. She took advantage of a young boy for a check. Okay? So it is not the same thing. It is not the same thing. He actually is getting nothing out of the deal. Some may argue he's getting the intrinsic value of being with a bad bitch. Well, let me tell you something. She ain't gonna be a bad bitch for them 18 years that he gonna be stuck having to pay her child support at the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. And you mark my words. Mark my words. The moment she have that baby and the moment she's able to solidify that paperwork, that relationship is going to be over. I'm 40 years old right now and I'm growing gray hairs in places I didn't even know existed. All right. There are 2 generations between those 2 people. There is nothing on God's green earth. A 40-year-old woman, and y'all love to do this. Women mature much faster than boys. So the bitch ain't even 40. She 50 in her head. There is absolutely nothing a woman with the maturity of a 50-year-old has to talk about with a 22-year-old. And since y'all love to holler when it's convenient, boys mature slower. He's 22, but probably act 18. Think about it. Most of us graduate college at 21. At 21, I still was a child. At 21, I was taking my rent money and going to the club because I wanted to do hood rat things with my friends. Okay? You do not know what you're doing at 21. I just put a post up the other day that said 18 is legal, but when did you become grown? And in my post, I put 36, 37 is when I became grown for real. That's when I started navigating this world like a grown-ass man and handling my business like a grown-ass man. You are not grown at 21. You're legal, but you are not grown. 22, you're legal, but you are not grown. You have no concept of life, the real world, finances, relationships, or the future implications of your impulsive decisions at 22 years old. Coupled with the fact that her son is only 1 year younger than this boy, it is fucking nasty. It's nasty. And again, for those of y'all who want to holler, men do it all the time. The difference is the woman comes the fuck up. She's a succubus. He's on the losing end of the stick. You damn right I don't have a problem when a 40-year-old go get a 21-year-old. I don't. Because the 21-year-old, the whole trajectory of her life gets changed through that financial blessing. And y'all love to holler, females are more mature than men. Well, at 21, the whole 30. So yes, it's a double standard, but it's a difference. What a difference. It's a huge difference. It's a huge damn difference. All right. Let's talk about, since I'm on the line, Moneice crying about getting a DNC at 29 weeks. Down to the internet. She was crying real bad, y'all. She was crying real bad. She was crying real bad about her DNC. Who gets on the internet and airs out their uterine business? Who gets on the internet and airs out their internal medical business? It would seem to me a rational, fair, logical human being. If I'm going through something as traumatic as losing a baby at 29 weeks as a result of a health condition, the internet would be the last place that I would go. The internet is a cruel and unforgiving place. Why would I open myself up to the scrutiny and opinions of the world when I am going through something so quote unquote traumatic? I just don't understand it. I would have never shared that with y'all. I just, nothing is personal anymore. And I'm guessing now in 2024 that I just have to stop this campaign for people to stop telling their business on the internet. And I guess I just need to get with the program because I'm guessing that's just where the world is again. And once again, I'm an analog girl operating in the digital world. I guess I'm just too old at this point. I guess I don't get it. But I would never come to y'all. I wouldn't come and tell y'all hoes I had the flu. I wouldn't come tell y'all hoes I had an ingrown toenail. Because y'all gonna swear I got it from being high and being drunk and prostituting. That's just the way the internet works. I would never, which then makes me feel like, bitch, ain't nothing wrong with you. Because when something really wrong with you, and when you really embarrassed about something, and when you really hurt about something, bitch, you ain't finna put yourself on Front Street. You are not finna put yourself on Front Street when you really going through. Bitch, you think if I walked in the house and found my husband of 23 years in the bed with a man, bitch, I'm finna come on the internet and tell it so them hoes at my job could be laughing at me? What the fuck is wrong with some of y'all silly ass hoes? That just ain't the way it works. And speaking of silly ass hoes, I am sick and tired of Buffie Purselle. So Buffie Purselle from Married to Medicine and Mariah Huck did a live together. I liked Buffy. I enjoyed Buffy when she was on the show, and I'm finna give y'all some tea that I was told not to tell, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. Buffy and Mariah did a live. First of all, I have an issue with Buffy because Buffy is so bitter that she still is not on Married to Medicine. You are the only castmate of Married to Medicine that's ever been on this show for 1 year. And every year you just got so much commentary, so much to say. You got so much hatred for Jackie and Heavenly. And I just don't understand how you could have this much pent up emotional anger and resistance for people that you were only in the company of for 6 months or so. It's like, girl, let it go. Okay, let it go, let it go, let it go. And then Mariah got on there talking about she got the receipts on Dr. Heavenly, but Damon asked her not to do it, so on and so forth. But yet you got on Carlos King's show and said you didn't have any receipts. It's a lie. Let me ask y'all a question. And I just want y'all to use your rational brain here. Mariah is not the all-exalted ruler of the tea. She is not the gatekeeper of the tea. So if Mariah has the tea and the receipts, then don't y'all think other people in Atlanta would have the tea and the receipts? As long as Dr. Damon has been on this show, nothing has come out with him and Heavenly in their marriage. Now, here is what I know. I'm going to give you some tea. Here is what I know. Do things transpire in Dr. Heavenly's marriage? Absolutely. Now, what types of things? I don't know. But don't things transpire in your marriage? These hoes is mad because everybody else's marriage and relationship has come under attack on that show except Heavenly's, because she was smart enough to say, I'm not tearing up my family for this show. And quite frankly, Heavenly and Damon don't need the money. So she don't have to stoop that low. And the girls are mad. The girls are mad. They want to see Heavenly's relationship toe up so bad just to level her out. And Heavenly doesn't make it any better when she taunts the girls and say, me and my man have sex every night, and we have sex and me and Heavenly laugh about it because she's like, Q, who in the hell have sex every night? They know I ain't having sex every night, but they want something to be going on in Heavenly marriage so bad. And there are things that go on in her marriage, but she was just smart enough to say, I'm not giving them to the camera. So here's what we're going to do. Internet people, receipt having people, if you got some receipts on Dr. Heavenly and her husband, send them to me, because I'm going to send them to her. Send them to me. If you got the receipts, send them to us. Drop the receipts. As much as Mariah hates Heavenly and hates Squad, do you honestly think all these years Mariah sat up on said receipts? And all these receipts are somebody said you ain't got no pictures, you ain't got no hotel receipts. All you got is, I know this girl that work at the cafeteria at the hospital that Damon used to work with, and she say he was going with the parking attendant. That's all you got. That's all you got. So go ahead and spill it. Spill the tea. Um, Dylan Mulvaney, y'all. Dylan Mulvaney is the white trans woman who at one point was placed on the Budweiser beer can in an effort for diversity and inclusion, and Budweiser caught a lot of backlash. And she posted a picture for International Women's Day, and caught a lot of backlash, and Lady Gaga got involved and came to Dylan's defense. Y'all, oftentimes I'm conflicted with a lot of issues because being gay and being a member of the LGBTQ community, I have an obligation to be a soldier for my community. Just as a Black woman, you have an obligation to be a soldier for your community. As a Jewish person, you have an obligation to be a soldier for your community. We all have obligations to be soldiers for our community. So, by default, I'm always going to have a bit more tolerance, patience, and be a bit more level-headed when I approach topics that come from my community. That's just fair. But when it came to this International Women's Day situation, this is one of the first times, I'm not a woman, but this is one of the first times as a non-woman that I kind of took on the feeling that a lot of women have. It made me a little uncomfortable. And here is why. And I think that I'm beginning to get a better understanding of what a lot of women are feeling in this trans woman argument. For whatever reason, it registered to me as you're kind of taking up space in a room that you're not supposed to be in. That's what it felt like to me. And I guess we're learning that there is different types of womanhood, and I think that there needs to be some separation between womanhood and trans womanhood, right? And living in a patriarchal society, I'm coming to understand that, I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm coming to understand that you women already feel oppressed and slighted and overlooked at the hands of men. You already feel like there is limited space for you. And then now here comes these other foreign individuals trying to take up space in what little space that we already have. Am I getting it right? And then I want to take it a step further and say, even in the trans woman movement, it's a furthering of men taking away from y'all, because it's still patriarchy in a sense. A trans woman is a born man, and now here comes men once again robbing us of things. I think I'm kind of starting to get it. I think I'm kind of starting to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because even the momentum that the trans community is gaining still comes at the hands of male privilege, in particular, white male privilege. And I'm starting to understand this is why men don't have issues with trans men, because a trans man who was born a woman will truly never be a threat to a man, because men rule the world. We live in a patriarchal society. Am I getting it? Like I'm starting to get it, y'all. I'm starting to get it. Work with me. It's all it's all a process. You know what I'm saying? And in the beginning, of course, my response to these issues are going to be visceral, because I'm so used to my community being attacked. So, you know, when you're used to being on the defensive, it's very easy for you to just say, fuck that, y'all being transphobic, y'all being this, y'all being homophobic, which a lot of y'all are at times. But I'm taking a beat and I'm starting to kind of get it. And see, somebody said, boy, bye, you knew. Actually, I didn't. And this bitches like you that I don't like. Get off my live, ho. I have my own issues. Let's see. It's always a bitch in the comments that piss me the fuck off. As a black gay man, I got my own set of fucking issues. You think I'm sitting around worried about what the fuck y'all going through? Do you think I'm honestly sitting down somewhere, A, worrying about what y'all going through, or B, giving a damn what you going through, when I'm going through my own set of issues as a black gay man? So, bitch, miss me with the boy you been knew. Fuck you, ho. Moving. It's always one bitch that just gotta fuck it up for everybody. God damn. You not tired of being that person yet? Anyway, I'm gonna move right along really quickly. Somebody dropped down. Somebody dropped down in my Instagram comments and said, Funky Dineva, can you talk about fat people eating online and why they face backlash versus skinny people doing the same thing online when the food that both of them are eating is equally unhealthy? So let's talk about it. It's two people who be online that came to mind when I saw this post. It's one lady who be eating in the car, and she be having like the chicken wings, and she put the whole chicken wing in her mouth and she pull it out. And then it's another young girl. She's a young, pretty faced girl. And she be like, oh, y'all, look what I made. And she just be having this big old plate full of food and stuff. And you know, they say, why don't they get the same backlash as skinny people eat? Gluttony is the reason. And I am going to be uh just very transparent here. Fat phobia, gluttony. I think that people take issue with it because, yes, it's unhealthy if a skinny person sit in a car and eat a 12-piece wing, and it's unhealthy if an overweight person sits in the car and eats a 12-piece wing. But it's like, but bitch, you already started behind the 8 ball because you triple unhealthy. And then the thing about it is you are delighting in gluttony, and people are not laughing with you, they're laughing at you or whatever. And I watch the post and I just shake my head for both of these young ladies because I'm like, y'all are further exacerbating your health issues in order to make people laugh. And I don't think it's funny. You down in a hole, and then not even that. It's the Sambo effect. You're playing into stereotypes. You're playing into being the fat, greedy bitch that just sit around and is lazy and slothful and gluttonous. And I think that that's the difference. Just like when you go to a buffet and you see an overweight person walking from the buffet with all that damn food, it's just a visceral reaction that people have to be like, damn, bitch, why you got all that damn food on that plate? And Leslie Warnell says it's just fat phobia. Leslie, I'm willing to explore that. It's fat phobia. Okay. Um, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess if we're keeping it real, the short answer is because you're fat and like you're overweight, and it's just weird because I think the average person's mind makes the connection that nobody really wants to be super fat, and eating makes you fat. So why are you doing more of this and you're already obese? And I think that that's what the difference is. It's respectability politics. It's social. It's what's socially respectful, and it's like, why are you further doing something that adds to you being less attractive? And I think that that's the difference between when a skinny person does it or a regular sized person does it and a big person does it. But I don't think it's cute clogging your body and eating 18-piece chicken wings in a car and then making sound about, oh God, it's so good. It's so good. It's like you're playing into the Norbit and the Rasputia stereotypes that make it hard for big people because people are laughing at you and not with you. Um, Last but not least, there's this discourse going on TikTok right now amongst Black women, saying that they don't like to be around ghetto or hood people, and they are being attacked, saying that they are whitewashed and are being anti-Black. Excuse me. I take strong exception with this. I have never liked the correlation between hood and ghetto equaling Black. But I don't have my head so far up my ass that I don't understand how that correlation can't be made. Because typically things that are hood and ghetto lie within the Black community, right? And that's the type of shit that we exploit for $1 in the media. Um, y'all have heard me say it time and time again, and I have no problem saying it out loud with my whole chest. I do not like ghetto people. I do not like hood people, and they scare me. Okay. And a lot of people be like, well, fuck it, not even you ghetto, you hood. No, the difference between me is, you know, I know how to have fun playing within racial tropes and stereotypes. Okay. I know how to be entertaining. I know how to be characters. I know how to be ratchet when it's time to be ratchet. I call it young, gifted, and ratchet. Okay. I know how to ghetto it up when I'm in certain environments, and I also know how to class it up when I'm in environments that require me to do so. All right. But at my core, I'm not a ghetto person. I don't come from the same neighborhood Sexy Red and Sukiyana them come from. And you know, the funny thing about it is I have had to grow to lower my disdain for hood and ghetto people, because when we look at it, it's a vestige of poverty, right? If anybody had the option of growing up in the Pork and Bean Projects or growing up in Beverly Hills, obviously they would choose Beverly Hills. And a lot of times, people being hood and ghetto, they can't help it. They are products of their environment, right? but I also can't help that being around you scares me. I also can't help that being around you makes me uncomfortable. I also can't help that I don't understand street ways of thinking. I don't. And I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone saying they don't want to be around a certain type of people. You know what I'm saying? Just like I've heard hood people say they don't like being around bougie people. Now, the difference is bougie people make them feel uncomfortable, make them feel less than, and it's a subconscious thing that they've got to be around. But me being black and gay, most of my trauma has come from hood and ghetto people. So that's another large part of the reason why I don't like being around them. And I'm not going to apologize for it. I don't go to parties in the ghetto. I don't go to ghetto clubs. I don't go to ghetto events. I don't go around ghetto people's house and do ghetto shit. I don't believe in getting 6 people in a car and going around somebody's house and jumping out the car and fighting them. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't. I don't know shit about getting people out of jail. I don't know shit about flipping bricks. I don't know shit about selling drugs. I don't know nothing about none of that. I was not raised like that. And therefore, I don't feel comfortable in those environments. Okay. I'll be the first to say that I do suffer sometimes with being elitist. There are certain ghetto and hood behaviors that I look down upon. Once upon a time, I used to look down on those people very bad. But I had to learn where my ignorance came from, and I had to learn why their lives were the way they were. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about unlearning things. But I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody declaring that they do not want to be around hood or ghetto people. I don't like being around bitches who think it's all right to talk on speakerphone in public. I'm not part of the bonnet crew. I don't have friends that wear bonnets and pajamas and flip-flops in Target. I don't. I don't have friends who push their babies up and down the street in a dirty umbrella stroller. I don't. I don't have friends who hang out in front of the corner store and play dice. I don't. So, somebody said, your stories don't match. Miami is ghetto hell. You've had ghetto and ghetto experiences. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've had ghetto experiences. I have 2 eyes, don't I? I have a car, don't I? I have to navigate throughout the city. Doesn't mean that I'm hood and ghetto and I enjoyed those experiences. And it doesn't mean that I don't know how to navigate them. But there is nothing wrong with saying you don't want to be around hood and ghetto people. Now, there's a problem when you start saying, I don't like poor people. I think poor and ghetto people are the scum of the earth. That's when it becomes problematic. But there is nothing wrong with saying, you like things over here and I like things over here, so I'ma just stay over here. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Anyway, y'all, I'm finna get out here and take my ass to Houston's. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. The show was real good tonight, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. And I'll call y'all hoes tomorrow. Bye.